everyone. Welcome to another episode of NWHL Open Ice. Honestly, I wish you all could see me chair dancing right before I hit the start button. These are just some pump-up jams. Maybe there'll be Lando's pump-up jams after this week. Welcome if this is your first time tuning into the show. It's a good one. I'm going to be asking Elena or Orlando, our wonderful guest, some questions, but then we'll also have the chance for you all at home to ask some questions. We try to get through as many as we can. You know, if you're going to ask a good one, I'm going to get to it. But don't be offended if I don't get to it. That doesn't mean it's not a good one. Awkward. So 2 ways to submit your questions. The first one is you can just type them into chat right now. Our wonderful moderators, thank you Dash, thank you Ammo, will be picking up the questions along the way. Second way is you can submit them on Twitter, hashtag NWHL Open Ice. So today in the virtual studio, we have Elena Orlando, League OG and All-Star, multiple time All-Star, no big deal. But before we get to that, what a star-studded hockey weekend we had. And, you know, my rec team, 5 wins in a row. I know that's what we're all talking about. Also, it was All-Star weekend in Boston. I don't know if you guys knew that. Saturday was the All-Star skills competition. All right, we're gonna do some highlights because a lot of awesome things happened. So the fastest skater went to Grace, who clocked the best lap at 13.6 seconds. Now, be honest, how long would it take you to skate around the rink, right? I'm sure most of us, if we've played a little hockey, could get up to some level of speed, but what happens when you hit that turn? Yeah. Are you gonna try and cross over? Are you gonna glide? Because if you glide, you're losing time. You're not making it under 20 seconds. If you try and cross over, chances are you've tried to hit top speed because there's a roaring crowd around you. Try and cross over, you're going straight into those boards. Don't lie to me. Going straight into those boards. But 13.6 seconds, how fast is that? You know, how fast comparatively is 13.6 seconds? Just to give you a little bit of context, that was 3 milliseconds behind someone known as Connor McDavid locked this year in the All-Star skills competition. But that's none of my business. Connor McDavid. 3 milliseconds. One of my favorite events was the hardest shot competition. That went to Kaylee Fratkin. Her slap shot hit 76 miles per hour, which, you know, aside me being impressed by Fratkin, it's just given me some respect for defenders, right? Like goalies, I get it, you're wearing extra padding, but defenders, you're standing out there shift after shift, taking 76 mile per hour shots. You know, nothing says hockey like a disc of vulcanized rubber coming straight for your head faster than most speed limits in America. The Franklin Accuracy shooting event saw record-breaking times. A little named called Jillian Dempsey. Y'all heard of her? Just heard of Jillian Dempsey? Once or twice, maybe. The league's all-time scorer clocked in at 9.6 seconds. She was really feeling herself this weekend, and that confidence carried over to the All-Star game on Sunday. They took down Team Packer. 10,000 people at a time, 10,000 concurrent viewers tuned in for the All-Star game. Warrior Stadium in Boston was completely sold out. Standing room only for days before, but then it was completely sold out as well for a while. In the end, Team Dempsey prevailed 5-2. And Solander took home the MVP award. Great game by everyone. What a weekend. You know, I can only imagine what kind of whirlwind event that must be, right? You're traveling to a place far, far away called Boston in the winter. Boston in the winter. And, you know, you got 2 events on Saturday. You've got events Sunday. You've got so many fans watching you. Like, I wonder what that would be like. Only we had someone with us who could tell us what it was like to be there. Oh, wait, we've got Elena Orlando in the studio. So for those of you who've been living under a rock, I'll tell you a little bit about our guest before she comes on. So Elena Orlando is a defender for the Connecticut Whale. She is an all-star, obviously. She played 4 years at Quinnipiac. I had to write that out phonetically because if you see that, it's not, you know. She played 1 year with the Swedish Women's Hockey League before signing on to the Riveters in the inaugural season. Little known fact about Orlando, where since then she has spent the rest of her time with the Whale. Please welcome Elena Orlando. Welcome, Elena.
Hi, it's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for joining us. It hasn't been like a lazy weekend for you, I'm sure.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Not terrible. So I want to just jump right in because there's so much about you that people don't know. Like when I was researching you, I had no idea you played for the Riveters first. I thought you were like a OG Whale. But that's probably not one of the most interesting facts about you. There's a lot of other interesting facts. You know, you can disagree with me if you want to, but so you actually you were one of those, you know, proteges, and you got recruited in middle school to play hockey. So you got recruited to a boarding school in Minnesota at Shattuck St. Mary's. So I just want to know, what was it like for you, 14-year-old from the Bay Area, blonde, sun-kissed, probably got like salt in your hair, to then go to Minnesota as like a 14-year-old?
Yeah, it was definitely a whole new experience. Getting used to feet and feet of snow and the cold weather and everything when I was used to the nice Bay Area weather. But yeah, it was a huge change moving away from my parents and my family and everything, and kind of just almost like a culture shock, just going to like a whole new environment. But I really enjoyed my time there. I met a lot of fun people, learned a lot of new things, you know, grew as not only a player, but a person. And yeah, it was just a great experience overall.
Like learned how to be a hockey boss. No, no big deal. It's just a small thing you learned. So before getting recruited, this was really the first time you had played women's hockey, because you growing up, you had played on boys leagues, right?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of girls hockey opportunities around
Mhm.
when I was growing up. It was all boys leagues and everything. So I was usually the only girl on the team for I think my entire boys hockey career. So yeah, and then right before Shattuck, I played 1 year of girls hockey for the Cal Selects, and then Shattuck was, you know, next 4 years of like a real experience of playing with other girls my age and some older than me and whatnot.
So was that a weird transition for you to go from like a boys league to a elite women's? What was the play style different? Like what did it feel like to you? Was it just like going to some new team?
Yeah, it was pretty similar. Like I was young enough, it wasn't like a big physicality change, like going from like a checking league to like a, you know, a non-checking league. Obviously like women's hockey is still pretty physical in its own way. So it wasn't like a huge difference, I don't think. It just, you know, was kind of an adjustment to different kind of playing styles, because, you know, boys can be a bit more physical and
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the more play, but women is more like finesse and a lot of skill. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it was a kind of a difference in that way.
Heard it here first. Lando says women's hockey, more skills. Saying what we all know. So you transitioned before they went full check.
Yes.
So, all right, even if you had continued on with, you know, in the Bay Area, continued in a Czech league, that probably would have been fine for you, because when you went to college, you were a dual athlete,
Yeah.
hockey and rugby. So just hockey wasn't enough contact for you. Need a little bit more.
Yeah. When I was at Quinnipiac, the rugby coach had come to multiple hockey games and just kind of approached me after and it was like, "Hey, I saw you out there. I think you'd be really good in rugby." And I was at that time I had really no knowledge of the sport. I kind of heard of it, and I was like, "Oh, is that the one that you have to pass backwards?" And she was like, "Yeah, don't worry, I'll teach you everything." So I kind of got into that, and played 3 years of it, and had an amazing experience. I love the sport. I still play in the summer as much as I can out of hockey season. I think it's a great cross training sport.
Mm-hmm.
You have to play with your head up at all times, obviously, because you're going to get hit at any moment, and speed and agility and everything like that. It's a great transition for hockey.
Except, you're getting run into by women all the time with no padding on. So a small injury chance, but let's just ignore that. I played rugby for a couple of years, and I'm a couple inches shorter than you, and not as muscly. So some of us didn't do as well.
I was a back, and so mostly it was a lot of running.
Running away from contact.
Yeah, running away from contact
Good,
was
good. Cool,
was
cool,
what my main skill was.
Yeah, that's all of our main skills. So I want to shift lanes for a second. We had touched on that you're from the Bay Area, and some people might know this, but it's a very racially and ethnically diverse area. And February is Black History Month. Happy Black History Month, everyone. And last week we played a video of one of your teammates, Sheree Stewart, because inaugural season you played for the Riveters. Little known fact about Orlando. But Black History Month is about celebrating all the Black Americans and the wonderful things they've contributed. But when you change that conversation to hockey, a very interesting question comes up, a very interesting spotlight comes up, and that's we have a very diverse U.S. population, but that diversity is not reflected in the hockey community, right? So if you Google racial demographics of hockey, you know what comes up? The percentage of Canadians. And Canada is not a race. I don't know if Google knows that. But so Orlando, in your hockey experience, you've played on West Coast, you played on East Coast. Why is hockey not as inclusive of other sports?
So as a white female, I didn't really have personally these barriers growing up. So I connected with one of my good friends, and so I'm sure everyone on this broadcast is going to know her, but Erica Ayala. I sat down with her this weekend and kind of, talked to her about it. She educated me, and I think things that she really talked to me about was accessibility of the sport. There's not that many opportunities for people to like get into the sport.
Yep.
One of the things that she told me that she was, doing some interviews with people, and an interesting fact that kept coming up was like transportation. Taking public transportation with a huge hockey bag and everything is, not really a feasible thing sometimes. So that's kind of a barrier that some people might face. Also, like the affordability of the sport.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very expensive sport. So that's something that, might make it a little bit harder to get into for certain families. So that's kind of the stuff we talked about that she really helped me, open my eyes to.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So, I mean, this might seem like a really obvious question, but like, why is it important for hockey to be inclusive for everyone, in your opinion?
I mean, obviously, if you love the sport, you should be able to play the sport.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be whatever you identify as. It's not a specific race, not a specific gender, anything like that. So, if a sport's diverse, we can all learn from each other, and we can become a tighter family, a tighter community, a tighter nation, and everything like that. Learn each other's backgrounds, and just overall, it's a better experience and a better opportunity for people to grow and learn from each other.
Yeah. And I mean, having come to hockey as an adult, I love this sport. I think it's the best sport. Like, I've played rugby, I've played college basketball, I've done a lot of sports, but hockey is my favorite sport to watch, to play. It's the best sport, and everyone should have this opportunity, not just certain people, not just if you live near a rink. So in your opinion, what kind of steps do you think need to be made to make hockey more inclusive for everyone? Make sure hockey is truly for everyone and not just people who look like us.
Yeah, this is going back to my conversation with Erica. Some of the things that we talked about were just being more open to discussions about race in sports and everything like that. And, allowing people to identify as they identify and being open to those discussions, open to those conversations, not making people feel like they can't really be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then just better representation, obviously, like you were talking about, you Google that and it comes with Canadians. It's kind of ridiculous. So,
Canadians.
Canadians, yes,
That's how you say
exactly.
it.
It's kind of ridiculous that, that's what your Google results are. It should be better representation. It's kind of
Mhm.
this thing that we talk about where if you see it, you can dream it and you can be it. And if we're not seeing it, then people don't know that they can strive to be this. This is a realistic dream. So
Yep.
I think that's a huge point to make there.
Yeah, thank you. Because and I just want to thank you for being so open on this topic because let's be honest, I'm never going to be anything but honest. Talking about race sometimes can be a little bit awkward, especially if we're, two white women having a conversation about this. But, at the end of the day, silence isn't going to help anybody. And this show isn't just about, making Orzechowski admit she'd rather be a reverse mermaid or dividing the Packer household on what stick tape color is better. It's about making hockey better for everyone, and that's what the NWHL is here for, So we're always going to try and have these conversations. So thank you for having this conversation, and thank you, everyone. Happy Black History Month. Going to switch gears a little bit. So Lando, your professional hockey career actually didn't start with the NWHL. It started after you graduated from college. You went over to Sweden and you played in the Swedish Women's Hockey League. So if you're not familiar with the league, it's been around since 2007 and it has 10 teams. So what was it like not only going from college to not college, but going from college, foreign country, professional hockey? I don't understand. What was that like?
It was almost really similar to going to boarding school. It was but with the foreign language. So it was a huge adjustment for myself. Obviously you're playing with people that could be 10 years older than you. So that was kind of an interesting thing. You could be playing with people that are 10 years younger than you. So it was a huge age gap, and obviously the language barrier was really big. I don't know any
You
Swedish.
Don't speak Swedish?
I know a few words, and probably not something I should repeat on a broadcast. But yeah, so it was a huge change, and adjusting to a bigger ice sheet, different playing styles and everything like that. So I went over there. I lived at a family's house, and we had practice every day, had games on the weekends, some games during the week. But it was definitely an adventure, and I loved every part of it. So
was the play style any different in that league than it is in the NWHL? How was I know you mentioned the ice sheet was bigger and the age gap was different, but did they play differently?
When I was over there, it was a lot of skill. Obviously the NWHL is super skilled as well, but you see a bit more physicality with it.
Those big Swedish women.
But yeah, that's kind of the main difference. Obviously both leagues are super skilled, but with the NWHL I see a bit more physicality with it. That's kind of the major difference that I see as a player.
Were they big? Were the women there bigger than the women in the NWHL?
I don't know. We have some pretty tall people in this league. I see Hannah Beatty in the chat there, and that's a tall person right there. So,
and I mean, you're 5'7", so you're taller than the average bear. But I mean, for the league, I mean, it's not like you're on your Packer, but you're certainly not the biggest.
No, definitely not.
I'm afraid of Madison. I shouldn't have said that.
Me too. No, she's one of my good friends. So,
so you've been in the league since the beginning, but you also have a very rich outside life. You work as a nurse, You do a lot of coaching on the side. So I would love to hear like a typical week in your life. You know, like just give us the details.
It's kind of boring, honestly. But I go to work depending on the day. So depending on the day, we work out with Apprentice Hockey Performance or down in Stamford, and they're a great workout facility. They train with a lot of NHL players and everything like that. So I'll go there in the morning on certain days during the week. Then I'll go to work, depending on the day. If it's Tuesday or Thursday, I'll get back home from work. I'll eat dinner, and then I'll join our carpool group and head on up for the practice. Other days I'll go coach, and then weekends kind of just sometimes it's coaching and then hockey, my own hockey. Sometimes it's just coaching. Sometimes just my own hockey. So it just kind of just fluctuates around.
So what you're saying is you hate sleep.
Exactly. Free time and sleep.
Sleep is terrible. All right, so speaking of nursing, we're going to play a little game called Would You Rather? Medical Edition.
Oh.
So, you know, I'm going to ask you a series of questions if you've never played Would You Rather. And just, you know, first thing that comes to mind. Are you ready? Do you want to do some like deep breathing? You know, you do your like pre-hockey workout. Eat a banana.
All right.
You
I think I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Would you rather only be able to eat hospital food for the rest of your life, or always have to play hockey in a hospital gown tied in the back?
Oh, definitely eat hospital food. I'm showing a bit too much with the hospital gown.
All right. Oh, you mean your pants would be on though, so you'd be fine.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't sure if we were hockey in the nude.
I mean, I'm not gonna make you stand in front of 76-mile-per-hour shots with no padding
in the nude.
on. Yeah.
The hospital gown probably wouldn't help too much with that.
No. All right. Would you rather always be the day after leg day sore, or only be able to get your medical care from George Clooney, played by the character of Doug Ross?
Probably leg day sore.
Leg day sore every day.
Every day.
Every day's leg day anyways.
You know, it just gains out here.
Gains.
Just always
gains. Would you rather always have a stuffy nose or always have a runny nose?
Oh man, probably a stuffy nose.
Okay. All right. So you don't like breathing. Cool.
Yeah, I don't like breathing, but I don't like snot all down my face either.
Yeah, that's true. Would you rather have this gene where cilantro tastes like soap, or the asparagus gene?
What's the asparagus gene?
You don't know the asparagus gene?
Oh, you have to enlighten me on that one.
When you smell ammonia after.
Oh.
You don't know the asparagus. So you don't have the asparagus gene. You don't have either genes. What are you, some side kind of superhuman? All right, we'll revisit this later. We're gonna need to sequence your genome for science. Just send me a hair swab.
Here you go. Okay.
Cool. All right. Would you rather never be able to play on the Connecticut Whale again, ever, or in the NWHL? Or have 5 more years of guaranteed seasons and an Isabel Cup, but have to spend 1 year of your life as an actual whale? And I'm actually, I'm going to need you to really listen to this because there might be a genie listening. Okay. All right?
So that's a tough one.
So do you want 5 years and an Isabel Cup or not?
I think it's really the whale aspect that's kind of ticking. What kind of whale do I get to be?
A Connecticut whale.
No, well, like an actual whale.
Just Connecticut whale.
Oh.
I don't understand the question.
Is that a species of whale? I thought I had to be an actual whale.
You can choose the species of whale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I probably would pick being a Connecticut whale.
Okay, good. Cool. So, I mean, that question would be a little bit easier if you were like on Boston team.
That's true.
Who wouldn't want to be a lion,
Yeah.
But
who
like
wouldn't want to be a whale? Who wouldn't want to be a whale?
Reduce, reuse, recycle. Just saying. Okay, so what was your you'd rather be a Connecticut whale, right?
Yes.
That was the final question. Okay.
I'll stay a Connecticut whale.
Just gonna go all in on that one.
Disclosed type of whale.
We're gonna need you on Twitter, everyone, to show us what a Connecticut whale looks like, and maybe if you could Photoshop Lando's head on that, that'd be great.
Submit your best drawing. Winner will be picked at the end of the week.
Winner, what does the winner get? What will you give the winner, Lando?
Oh man, I'll give them.
Will you sign a photo?
I'll sign a photo
Okay.
of me as the whale. I'll sign the best drawing. I'll print it out. I'll sign it and I'll send it to them.
Okay. So submit your best photo of Lando as a whale on Twitter, and the best photo will be drawn by her next game, printed out, signed, and sent to you. Is that? Do we have your binding?
That's a deal.
All right,
that's
cool,
a deal.
cool. I'm gonna draw the best photo. It's gonna be me. I don't care if anyone else does this. It's gonna be me.
You're gonna censor the tweets. You're gonna censor the tweets. It's only you that gets through.
Right. All right. We digress. So it's that time, chat. It's that time. We're ready for your questions. We're gonna take a 60-second break. So during that time, send us in your questions. If you are a subscriber, then you won't see this ad break. But if you're not, get up, open those chests, sit up straight, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. All right. Lando. So we're on our 60-second ad break. Our subscribers are still listening, so don't say anything, too wild.
Nothing scandalous here.
So I'm really excited for this competition. Thank you for bringing it up. But question number 1 from Murph is: does Lando remember dancing in her gear with Amber Moore in season 1 when the Pride's bus was delayed?
Absolutely.
So can you just give us a little play-by-play about that? I don't have a video of that. I'm sorry.
That's really disappointing. The fans probably would have loved that. But it was their bus was delayed and we had to entertain the fans, and so
it was for fan entertainment. It wasn't just for fun.
I mean, probably a bit of both, because my fan entertainment's always fun, so definitely was a bit of both there. But we just had a dance off, and
Perfect.
moves out there.
So I just want to actually play this one thing for everyone as we get back from this ad break. But I actually found this photo of you from your rugby days, and so it's a photo of you from your college with your Canterbury jersey on. I know you can't see it, but you look real good. Okay, your arms look strong, your hands look strong. Looks like you actually have a chest protector on. Which is cheating in rugby, but that's fine. So we're going to take some questions. So Unicorn Duke wants to know, how did you choose your number?
So when I was a kid, Jonathan Chichu was on the Sharks, and he was like one of my favorite players, and so I picked my number after him.
Oh, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, we have a quick question from chat about the competition. Jolly Whiskey wants to know if they can use Photoshop to create your whale pick.
Absolutely.
Okay. So
all forms of art count.
All forms of art. Graphic art, drawing, clay. Clay is actually the preferred medium for this challenge. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Charcoal, watercolor.
Watercolor, crayon,
colored
pencil, interpretive dance.
Oh, I like that. Mm-hmm. If someone did like a play and like did that, that'd be kind of cool.
3x? How many acts do you want to play? Weird question. All right. So Daisy on the Ice wants to know, of the rinks that you've played in over the last 5 years, what is your favorite?
That's a good question. It's been a couple. There's been some really cool experiences. Definitely, I think first year with the Rivs was like crazy. It was packed every game, and the league was brand new, and it was just, the atmosphere was really awesome. Mm-hmm. It's always fun playing up in Boston. They have a great crowd. It's always fun up there. Minnesota always is fun, and obviously being at home, nothing like being at home. So
yeah, of course, home field advantage, home ice advantage. Definitely. Brown Bear on Ice, a wonderful personal teammate of mine, would like to know, do you have a pregame ritual? Eat a banana.
Yeah, I'll eat a banana. I love bananas. Keep ups. I like playing keep ups with a soccer ball. That's definitely my go-to. I gotta do it before every game.
What's your record?
We do it. So I do it with the teammates. We do it in like rounds. So if everyone touches the ball, that counts as one round, and we just see how many rounds we can get through. I think we got to like 5 one time, which was impressive because we had
5?
like and we had like 7 people, so it was like 7 or 8 people, so it was pretty hardcore. People were diving everywhere to get in there. So
Gotcha. I mean, 5 to me, I just, I don't know. I'm not very good at soccer though, so I guess I don't have any understanding of what that is. Header. Okay, so Jolly Whiskey has a very important question because I feel this one very acutely. Do your teammates come to you for medical advice like suspicious moles?
No, they don't. They
No?
don't. There's definitely a separation of hockey and work.
You're so lucky.
I know. Well, we have our athletic trainer Paul, so he gets the brunt of everything, and then
Sweet
Grace
Paul.
Grace on our team is also an athletic trainer, so she gets some questions. So I get to kind of sneak out the back door there and not have to worry about anything.
Good. Proud of you. T-Laz2 wants to know, what's your favorite hockey memory of all time?
Of all time.
I mean, and you can wait. Hold on. You won nationals in high school, so I'm going to take that out of the.
Oh darn! That's my go-to right there.
I knew that answer.
Sabotage.
Yeah. Is it winning Is it winning the Isabel Cup with the whale in 5 years prior to becoming a actual biological whale?
That would be the ultimate one.
Okay, but before then, I guess we'll have to pick. We'll have to settle on something.
Oh, nothing can compete with that. Favorite hockey memory? It's a tough one. Honestly, I'd probably go back to year 1, the very first game of the NWHL. That like still gives me chills like to this day. Like it was just, we were up in Stamford, Ribs were playing the Whale. And it was sold out crowd. Atmosphere was crazy. We were making history. And so that definitely is right up there. That's probably the top one right there.
Wonderful. All right, last question. Unicorn Duke. Wait, no, 2 more questions because I like this question. 2 more questions. Unicorn Duke wants to know, whose shot do you never want to be in front of?
Well, Fratty now. Frat can definitely not 76 miles
per hour.
Yeah, I'll take that one out of the.
No,
I don't want to be in that
one. No, thank you. All right, yeah, that's good. All right, so Founding 4 Pod, last question. What is Lando's favorite game to play on game night with the Packers?
Ooh, we play like a wide variety of things. We play this game like Hot Seat, and you like pick questions, and it's like, most likely to like do something like that. Then you got to like pick people and stuff like that. So look it up. It's a good game.
Hot Seat?
Yeah, it puts people on the spot, and it's like, oh, what do you expect this person never to do? And then everyone, like, it's anonymous too, and the person has to pick who they think it is, and it puts people on the spot, and it's all in good fun, obviously, when you play with your friends, because you can kind of pick on each other a little bit. But
who is a part of this game night besides you and the Packers?
Sophia Agostinelli and Casey Anderson and her partner, and sometimes we have some guest appearances by other folks like Grace Kleinbach, and
if they're invited.
Yes, and Cassie Dunn on the Riveters gets to come too. She's there. So
wow. Well, I like games.
Yes. Oh, okay. You in the area?
I like games. It's a small flight from DC. Very small flight. I'm really good at Settlers of Catan. If you ever need a dungeon master, can help you out.
Okay, I'll put that in my notes. Whenever that comes up, I'll give you a buzz.
Game night with Packer notes. Don't invite Gamer Doc. Super nerd.
Do not invite list.
All right, well, this was wonderful. This is all the time we have for this show tonight. You're playing this weekend, aren't you?
Oh, yes, we are.
You're taking on the Pride on
Yes,
Saturday.
Going back to Warrior Arena.
Back to Warrior Arena, you know. I mean, you're still an all-star, though, in our hearts this weekend, you know.
Thank you.
You may not have the all-star jersey on, but we still see it.
Hope I have some different luck up there than I did this weekend. Yeah.
Hey, it was a good game. It was a good
Yes,
game.
it was.
It
It
was a
was
really good
exciting.
game. Well, Elena, thank you so much for coming on. Do you have any parting words for chat? Parting words for your adoring fans? Besides the call to action for that photo.
Oh man. Besides that, well, I'm gonna still sneak that in there. Send me your pics. Do some good art. But thank you, everyone. Do that art.
Do you want us to? Well, we should tag you in the photo, right? What's your Twitter handle?
E_Orlando14.
All right. So that's pretty easy to remember.
Yes.
So we'll tag you in the photos. Let's get them in by your hockey game, and maybe you can choose before the hockey game my winning photo.
I love that. Yes.
Okay,
you're just slide that into my DMs and I'll pick that one.
I'm gonna tag you. It's not gonna be in your DMs.
Yeah, don't slide into my DMs. Just tag me in them. Let the whole world see them.
Good. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, and good luck this weekend.
Yes, thank you for having me, and thank you to all the fans that submitted questions and just hung out for this time. Thank you for having me on here.
Have a wonderful evening. Get some rest for this weekend.
Will do. Thanks.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
That was Elena Orlando. A pleasure. I'm like not kidding. I'm going to submit that photo and I'm going to beat all of you. Gloves are off. I don't know if you guys have seen my graphic design skills in full force, but they're not bad. All right. So that's almost all the time we have for this week. I want to talk about two things before we go. One is the best fan competition. Listen, I get it. You can't shell out money to go to the All-Star game, fly up to Boston. Jerseys were expensive. You're not going to spend that money. But what if you had the chance to go to the Isabel Cup for free? For the price of for free. You do. And guess what you have to do? Watch the games. All you got to do is watch the games. So in order to be in this competition, you got to make a Twitch account. I know some of you are still watching without a Twitch account. I will help you. Send me a DM on Twitter and I will help you at gamerdoc_. Rolls off the tongue. All you got to do is make a Twitch account, log in, enable the NWHL extension, which it'll pop up right when you log in, and watch the games. And you accrue points by watching the games. And then the top 100 fans will go on to the next round. So make sure you're competing in that because that is an opportunity you do not want to miss. The Isabel Cup is going to be wonderful this year, as always. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. And number 2 is the clip of the week. The clip of the week this week, Jillian Dempsey. She's a record setter. She's always going to be a record setter. And this was her setting records in the skills competition. So let's take a look.
And it's the captain, Team Dempsey. It's Jillian Dempsey competing now with the 45 seconds on the clock. She's got the upper left hand, upper right. Oh boy, oh, she's gonna break every record. Yes!
I mean, she only missed the first one. Did you see that? Let's play it again.
And it's the captain, Team Dempsey. It's Jillian Dempsey competing now with the 45 seconds on the clock. She's got the upper left hand, upper right. Oh boy, oh, she's gonna break every record. Yeah.
I can't even hit the net when I shoot, and she hit all 4 targets. 5 shots, 4 targets. That's wild. That's wild. That's it. Make sure we've got a lot of fun action coming up this weekend. Saturday, the Pride take on the Whale. Make sure you're rooting for Orlando. You know, we don't take sides in NWHL Open Ice. We're always going to root for who's been on the show most recently. So this week, root for Orlando. And then the Riveters and the Whitecaps have a doubleheader. The action starts Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you see a clip that's happening in those games, and you want to clip it, you know, tag us. Put it on Twitter. Tag us. Tag me. I'd love to see it. Love to have it next week. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the show. It's been wonderful, as always. We will be here every Monday until the Isabel Cup at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a happy and have a healthy week. I always say that. It's the week. Happy Monday. We hope you enjoyed the show. By tuning in every week and engaging, you're directly supporting the league. Do you want another easy and free way to show your love? Amazon Prime customers have access to 1 free Twitch subscription a month. First things first, if you haven't already made a Twitch account, click the sign up button, which should be in the top right corner of your screen if you're on a computer. What a great show. Oh, you're finished? Okay. Once you have a Twitch account, head over to twitchprime.com and follow the instructions to link your Amazon account to your Twitch account. Sounds complicated, but it's not. Once you've done that, click the subscribe button right here. And make sure you scroll down to subscribe for free. Done! Now you've accessed exclusive Twitch emotes and some other fun stuff. Pro tip, the subscription doesn't auto-renew, so make sure you do it every month. That's it. Thanks for watching. Go Sports! It's the Buttes at the Riveters. Listen, I'm not wearing my glasses, so the Buttes icon looks like the Whitecaps icon. Thank you all for correcting me. Buttes at the Riveters doubleheader this weekend. All right. Love you guys. Bye for real this time.